Our Benny's Beverage Depot toast of the game, a play you're going to be seeing a lot here the next few hours and days and weeks. And this ended the Cubs' threat in the 7th. And again, if that ball gets away from Suarez, the runner heading to third, Dexter Fowler, might try to score. What a play.
Yeah, wizardry by the middle infielder there for the Reds, and not really surprised to see Phillips pull it off.
In other news, Aroldis Chapman, who set a major league record yesterday, he got to 500 career strikeouts in the fewest innings of any pitcher ever, 292 innings.
You see the crazy strikeout number, 70 punch-outs in 39 1/3 innings of work.
Only Reds reliever ever to be named to 4 All-Star teams, 4 years in a row, in fact. Struck out all 3 he faced in the All-Star game. 12 of his 14 pitches reached at least 100 miles an hour. He hit nearly 104 on the gun earlier this season, according to MLB's StatCast. Kyle Schwarber inside ball 1. This is not easy. He got 103.92 on a pitch to Brian Dozier in late June. It's not easy listening. 103.92.
You'd hope after throwing as many pitches as he did yesterday, maybe he wouldn't have his best stuff here tonight, but that doesn't appear to be the case.
A lot of family and friends here for Kyle Schwarber. 2-1. It's not fair. You paint on 99.
Speculation that the Reds might be looking to move Chapman. Likelihood they'll move Cueto, and there's a real good chance they move Leake. I would be tempted to hang on to Chapman and make him the starter.
Pops in and out of the glove of Barnhart. And Schwarber out.
Well, we have 99 to 101 in this sequence. Cholula hot sauce.
It was a hot potato. With Rizzo on deck, a 1-run ball game.
Good swing. This is good stuff.
He might not ever do it, but if Chapman decided to lob one up there at about 64 miles an hour, somebody might swing 3 times at it.
Screw themselves into the ground.
1-1. He gets under it. Routine for Hamilton. First 2 outs have been recorded on pitches at 101 miles an hour. Strikeout to fly out. And it'll be Anthony Rizzo.
We've talked all year long about Anthony, how good he has been against left-handed pitching. Well, here comes the ultimate challenge.
2 for 12, 5 strikeouts for Anthony against Chapman. He did double off him back on April 24th. Ball 1. 34,900, the paid crowd tonight here in Cincinnati. See a lot of Cubs blue and a sea of red. For 3 more games over the next 2 days. Single game tomorrow night and then 2 on Wednesday. First down fastball, right?
Yep. And slider will throw changeup on occasion as well.
One ball and 2 strikes. Here's a pitch. 102. And off the plate in.
Steel your nerves and stand back in there, right? I mean, this is tough stuff.
Well, remember was it last year, right? Rizzo and Chapman jawing at each other over near the Reds dugout. 2-2. Swing and a miss to end the game. And another pitch over 100 miles an hour. Aroldis Chapman goes 1-2-3. Jay Bruce with the game-winning 2-run shot. The Reds grab game 1, 5-4.
How about that? 5-1's enough. We didn't think it would be. Both teams really with reasons to be upset with themselves. Whoever lost this game, it's the Cubs, obviously. Opportunities late in the ball game for both teams. Neither could cash in, so the Reds could not pad their lead, and the Cubs could not manage to tie the ball game. So we'll try it again tomorrow night.
And we'll have it for you right here on CSN beginning at 6 o'clock Central Time. Final tonight, Reds beat the Cubs 5-4. Stay tuned. Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs post-game live is next for Jim DeShays and our entire crew here in Cincinnati. I'm Len Casper. More to come after the break.
Get it done at game 1 of this 4-game set, 5-4. Your final. Cap and Holly with you. Blue Cross Blue Shield, our great sponsor of our post-game show. Look, Clayton Richard hung in there. Cubs battled. But the Reds came up with big hits and big spots.
Well, they did, and they got the lead back. And there was a dynamic in play in this one. You know, the Reds bullpen used an awful lot yesterday. Even Aroldis Chapman, many of us didn't think he was going to pitch tonight, and this bullpen gets it done. It is a weak spot of the Cincinnati Reds, and you felt like even though we were down by a run, that we were in their bullpen early, and the Cubs had put together good at-bats, getting Lorenzen out of there early, that we would have an opportunity to do some damage against that bullpen. They're able to hold us down and keep the offense at bay and get this win.
All right, Reds win at 5-4. We'll take you through it, show you how everything broke out tonight. We'll preview the game tomorrow that will be right here on CSN. It's all coming up right here, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield. It's Cubs post-game live.
Menards has the sale that lets you save big on over 65,000 items. So get ready, get set, and save with an 11% rebate on everything. Hurry in and save big, because now is the perfect time to save on all of your projects with an 11% rebate on everything, including sale prices. That's savings on top of savings. Get everything you need with an 11% rebate going on now.
I'm the biggest threat your business will ever face. Your size, your reputation mean nothing. Because tomorrow, I'll be your competitor. And I was born to disrupt everything you think your business is about. See you soon.
The next wave of the internet is bringing the next wave of competition. We're ready. Are you?
This mountain doesn't own a watch. It's not in a hurry to get where it's going. And yet, after millions of years, it has arrived. It's what inspired us to cold age our beer. which, thankfully, takes a little less than a million years. Coors Light, born in the Rockies.
Get your nibblers here! Get your nibblers right here! Poppable, shareable, craveable. Your favorite classics with a crispy twist. New corn dog nibblers. Crispy butterfly shrimp nibblers. Creamy mac and cheese nibblers.
You can see the macaroni and cheese, and I love it.
Corn dog.
Shrimp's good.
Yum!
Nibbler shrimp toss.
Get your nibblers here only at White Castle. The crave is a powerful thing.
Cubs Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers, as reliable as the cars themselves. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Audi, truth in engineering. Menards, save big money at Menards. And by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. This is Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs postgame live.
2-2, swing and a miss to end the game, and another pitch over 100 miles an hour. Aroldis Chapman goes 1-2-3.
Aroldis Chapman nails it down. A collection of Reds relievers keep the Cubs at bay enough to grab a 5-4 victory over Chicago. 5-8-0 over 4-8-0. Hello, welcome in. Cubs post-game live on the air, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. He's Todd Hollandsworth. I'm David Kaplan. It's nice to have a weapon like Aroldis Chapman, who, despite throwing 44 pitches last night, through again tonight, no one thought he'd pitch. The Reds even were saying they didn't know if he'd be available. Right. He was good.
Well, it was a surprise, all of us. But again, the way that the lineup set itself up, I'm not, maybe we're going to try not to use you tonight. But you know what? If you've got Schwarber, Bryant, and Rizzo coming up in the ninth, and you got 101 in the tank, maybe we'll use you. Yeah, comes in, locks it down. You saw it tonight.
All right, keep playing the game. Cubs a 4-3 lead, bottom of the sixth. Man on, Jay Bruce facing Justin Grimm. Jay Bruce takes him not only deep, but way out. That ball is murdered.
Well, location, Cap. Able to get a fastball by him earlier in the at-bat. 94 down in the zone. Jay Bruce, one of the, I'll say there's not too many of them. He's a high ball, fastball hitter for a lefty. You just usually don't see that too often. But again, challenged him up at the top of the zone, and you watched anything in the ball game tonight. When our pitchers missed up, the Reds were ready to hit 3 homers by their big guys in the middle of the lineup. And again, that's what you saw. He got that ball up, and we paid the price.
All right, let's check out our Sports Authority play of the game. You're going to be watching this one a lot. Tip your cap to Brandon Phillips. Top of the 7th. 2 outs. Cubs with 2 on. Jorge Soler with a shot up the middle. Watch the play by BP.
Still got
grab behind the back flip to get the force at second to end the inning. That one was big time.
Yeah, Brandon Phillips still getting it done. I had the privilege of playing with him many, many years ago. He's still hanging around, still getting to those balls. By the way, watch this. See where that play is made. It's on the other side. It's on the shortstop side of the bag. I mean, the backhand flip leads Suarez into the play right there. I wasn't sure if he was going to try to go to first on it or, as you see right there, lead him to the bag. I think he was kind of in a position where he had to go to the bag right there. But Brandon Phillips getting it done. He's gold, has been for many years, and still playing at a very high level late in his career.
All right, time for our Cholula Hot Sauce pitching recap. Matchup with Clayton Richard against Michael Lorenzen. And when you look at these two guys, both journeyman pitchers, both were okay tonight. Not great. Clayton Richard pitched reasonably well.
Well, I mean, going into the night, you probably felt that, Clayton Richard going, maybe you weren't looking for a long, lengthy outing. My biggest concern was going to be the right-handed bats that the Cincinnati Reds have. The splits don't lie, really, when you start to look at it. Clayton has done well against the lefties. He struggled with the righties. For tonight, the damage. Only gave up 4 hits in the ball game, but 2 of them left the yard. You see right there getting full extension from Todd Frazier. Marlon Bird's going to do the same thing. The righties have been able to do a lot more damage against him, and in this ball game in particular, he got away with a little bit. There were some line outs in there. Marlon Bird lined out. Brandon Phillips lined out. We talk about the 2 home runs right there. He did struggle with their right-handed hitters just a little bit, but contained Votto and Hamilton and was able to make some big pitches and even get a big double play off the bat of Votto as well.
All right, let's talk about Clayton Richard because the Cubs bring him in from Pittsburgh. They've got to get some help from him because they don't have another option really at number 5 starter. What was your take on him?
Well, I mean, again, much like I just said, you know, he was decent. Again, struggled with the righties. Pretty decent against the lefties. That's how it is. The arm angle there, his pitch flattens out to the righties. And you see he pretty much pitches to one side of the plate, and there's the bird homer right there. That on a single.
And as you said, up and away.
Well, you can't do it, right. I mean, when the ball, at this time of year in Cincinnati, you cannot miss at the top of the strike zone. You just can't do it. You're going to pay dearly. And right now, I mean, kind of what you saw from the Reds tonight is what the Reds had expected and even hoped from this offense this year was we've got some of the best hitters in the league. We got long ball threats top to bottom of the lineup. Let's see if we can't make something happen. Clayton hung in there. He made pitches when he needed to and gave us a chance to win a ball game. That was the most important thing, you know. Maybe put it on the offense, and we didn't get enough done late.
You know, you look at the Cubs bullpen, and with Soriano up, and they've got Grimm, and they've got Ramirez, and they got Rondon, and they have Mott, and they have Russell. They've got enough weapons down there to trust guys.
Absolutely. And, you know, right now the way that it's working is that, you know, the rules are somewhat defined, but not specifically all the time. I like that. I like what Joe Madd's really done with our bullpen. It's taken a lot of pressure off some of these guys, and I think our bullpen's going to be just fine. Even though Grimm had a rough one tonight, I think our bullpen will do well over the course of the rest of the season. I know there's maybe some concerns there, like can we improve in the bullpen? Do we need to improve in the bullpen? I like what I'm seeing. I like the variables that we've got down there right now. Travis Wood, fantastic job as well. So good things happening down there. This is a ball game that I felt like we needed to do a little bit more offensively against that tired Reds bullpen.
All right, Cubs come through with a bounce-back inning in the 5th, down 3-1. Chris Bryant with a ground rule double to right, and that is going to drive in Addison Russell, and that makes it just a 1-run Cincinnati lead, a 3-2 ball game. Chris Bryant's showing you when he gets an opportunity to get his hands extended and pitch away, he drives it hard.
Well, it's good to see Chris kind of staying back just a little bit. You know, with some of the struggles he was having with his swings was that he was kind of jumping out of his swing, and that's the one thing that I had been watching earlier. He looks more stable, more centered right now, and so when that pitch gets in there, he's able to keep his hands in there. You're right. He wants to get extended, and he loves to go the other way, but at the same time, if he's going out to attack with his body, he's shortening it. 92 looks like 96 when you go out to get that pitch. He still has to sit back and let it travel, and right now, and in tonight's ball game in particular, he did a nice job of that.
All right, Holly, later in the 5th, Jorge Soler at the dish, and he is going to come through with a 2-run double that puts the Cubs on top. That was a nice piece of hitting.
Yeah, good piece of hitting right there. Struck out the first couple times in the ball game. Looked to come up with a big hit right there and go the other way. Again, I like what I'm seeing from the boys in blue. They're swinging the bats much better coming through. Again, we could talk about later in the ball game we didn't do enough, but the at-bats are getting better top to bottom in the lineup. And right there, nice piece of hitting, taking that slider off the plate right there and driving it down the right field line.
All right, time for a break here. Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Holly and I'll be right back with a whole lot more on the Cubs offense.
Cubs Postgame Live is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all.
I bought a ticket because he told me that something good is going to happen, and for the first time in years, he was right.
What?
Nevertheless, Carmen still believes in her husband because he still believes anything's possible.
One thing we can rely on in this house is UVerse high-speed internet.
I've been streaming movies all day without any problems.
UVerse high-speed internet has brought much-needed reliability to our lives.
It's got reliability you can rely on.
AT&T UVerse high-speed internet. With 99.9% reliability, it's one thing you can rely on.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Hi, I'm Dean Collins, operating partner at Gerald Nissan. At Gerald Nissan, we understand that this is your car buying experience, and we want to find the vehicle and price that's right for you. We have more awards for customer satisfaction than anyone else in Chicagoland, and we're one of only 38 dealers in the country awarded the Circle of Excellence for customer satisfaction. We also have the largest inventory in Chicagoland, and we sold 2,700 new Nissans last year, all backed by Gerald's exclusive lifetime warranty. Gerald Nissan's always a better deal, I guarantee it.
Time for a four-seasons heating, air conditioning, and plumbing. Who's not so hot over the last 7 days? Johnny Peralta, that Cubs tormentor. Hot. 3 runs, a home run, and a .357 batting average. Francisco Cervelli can't have much worse a week offensively. He didn't score a run, didn't drive in a run, and hit just 100. Brutal. All right, welcome back. Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. He's Todd Hollingsworth. I'm David Kaplan. UPS Store, taking care of business. Player of the game, we're going to give it to Holly voted. Dexter Fowler, 2 for 3, 2 walks, a run scored. Only mistake he made is when he tried to stretch a single into a double and they gunned him out at second. And that could have been a potential run.
I'll play that game. Listen, he was being aggressive, and it wasn't a bad spot to do it. He was testing Hamilton's arm. Hamilton made a nice play. I love what Dexter Fowler's doing at the plate right now. You know, it's kind of a funny dynamic that sometimes happens to you as a hitter. You know, you're in a position where you start to expand your strike. Hey, there's your
You can't get thrown out on that play with nobody out.
Stop it. He was trying to.
No.
Anyway.
There's aggressiveness and there's foolishness.
Let me finish. Dexter's doing a fantastic job right now where he was expanding a strike zone earlier last couple, 2-3 weeks where he was really struggling to get on base and things just weren't going his way. Think about the pitch down, how many times we saw him chasing the ball at the bottom of the zone. And what you see right now, the Cincinnati Reds really weren't going to throw him anything to hit, thinking that he's going to expand his strike zone. And certainly over the last few ball games, he's done a very, very nice job of being patient, being disciplined, going back the other way, and not swinging at those pitches. I think 7 walks in the second half already.
Last 7 games, 7 hits, 7 walks. Right. Pretty good. Last 5 ball games. Let's take a look at the Cubs lineup, brought to you by Wrigleyville Sports. Dexter Fowler right there at the top, 2 for 3. Kyle Schwarber had a knock for Chris Bryant, which was a ground rule double. Anthony Rizzo, a tough night, 0 for 3. Couple of hits there for Soler and Coghlan, 1 apiece, and a 2 for 3 for Addison Russell. Good to see.
Yeah, good. 2 hits the other way. Nice job tonight. Well, I should say a base hit to center field, a base hit to right. Addison been struggling just a little bit. Young players go through these things, but hopefully gets a little bit of momentum going. You know, the other thing that's kind of lost in all this, you know, we talk about the Cubs offense and, you know, they're not hitting here at the end of the second half and maybe we're not doing enough. But you know what? The pitching that they were going up against was some of the best in the game. This is the cycle. This is the time where the schedule's going to get a little easier for the Cubs as far as who they're facing and the pitching that they're going to go up against. That's going to go lockstep with these guys starting to swing the bats better. I think their confidence will start to rise and we're going to start to see the long ball. We're going to start to see bigger innings.
He got a day off yesterday. Mm-hmm. How much does that help you? Or are there days where you were given a day off and you went, just get me back on the field?
No, I didn't like him. I really hated him. I mean, I got a lot of them a lot of times against lefties, you know, which was always kind of built into it. Like, hey, listen, we're going to give you a day off, Holly. Oh, Randy Johnson's going today. Well, I was like, okay, I get it. But I didn't like them because it was also an acknowledgement that, you know, if I'm 0 for 20, that I am 0 for 20 and I seem to need a day off. Right. And I didn't want to admit that to myself. So for me, I was a worker and I was kind of more like a grinder. I didn't like those days off. But, you know, Addison Russell's a young man right now who is figuring out the big leagues. He trusts Joe Madden. That's the guy you listen to. When you're going to get a day off, you know, appreciate it. Try and learn something.
All right. Kyle Schwarber had 1 hit tonight and was behind the plate. He's expecting to play 3 of the 4 games in this series. Everyone's screaming for the Cubs to trade for a bat. So this guy can flat out rake.
Well, what's the commitment going to be, too, though? You got to remember it's going to be with him behind the plate right now. So that or left field, and we'll see how that all ultimately plays itself. I don't know the answer to that. That was a big at-bat right there. Great piece of hitting on a 1-2 pitch with the bases loaded, unfortunately lined out. But, I mean, listen, I think what you see is what you get. Kyle Schwarber, great approach to the plate, good balance, uses the entire field. He actually is, at least in my opinion, the most ideal two-hitter that we've got on this team. I love where he's hitting because of what he does, that short, compact swing, the ability to put the ball in play. So more at-bats are going to come his way. We're probably going to clean up the catching just a little bit. I know that this is going to be a work in progress, but again, we had a wild pitch / pass ball again tonight. First ball game, the error, you know, some of that's got to clean itself up too.
Yeah, I thought that the wild pitch was something. I don't know how he's going to stop that one. That's tough pitch.
You know,
young catcher.
And I will defend it to the point where he has not worked with all of these guys, Clayton Richard in particular. But again, these are things that just can't happen, though. I mean, you know, what kind of team are you? Are you a team that's playing with expectation that wants to get itself to the wild card, or are we the team that's, you know, a work in progress? You know, we understand that the bat is going to be there and that he should hit, and then our lineup gets a lot longer with him in it and a lot better with him in it. But at the same time, we cannot continue to have some of these mistakes that we've seen behind the plate. And like I said, believe me, I'm not putting it all on him as if this is some sort of blame game. But again, we can't have these mistakes. We had actually gotten to a position right there where, that's the last thing you want to have happen. Runner on third, 2 outs. Got to slide over, got to somehow keep that ball in front.
All right, we'll be right back. Cubs post-game live continues, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Talk about the latest picture to make the Cubs debut.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Cholula Hot Sauce, the flavorful hot sauce with the iconic wooden cap.
A strong business needs to be connected. The right location will provide everything a company needs to grow. Elk Grove Village is home to a community of over 3,600 companies. It's surrounded by highways, its freight rail served, and its next-door neighbor is the world's busiest airport. So when it comes to being connected, we have options. Elk Grove Village, makers wanted.
Menards has the sale that lets you save big on over 65,000 items. So get ready, get set, and save with an 11% rebate on everything. Hurry in and save big, because now is the perfect time to save on all of your projects with an 11% rebate on everything, including sale prices. That's savings on top of savings. Get everything you need with an 11% rebate going on now.
This program on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Prism. Now your team can collaborate at a whole new level with video walls from Prism. Learn how at prism.com.
This mountain doesn't own a watch. It's not in a hurry to get where it's going. And yet, after millions of years, it has arrived. It's what inspired us to cold age our beer, which, thankfully, takes a little less than a million years. Coors Light, born in the Rockies.
However you do sports, however you do fun, however you do summer, do it at Sports Authority. Shop thousands of great deals this summer. Sports Authority.
Sports Authority is proud to be the official sporting goods retailer of the Chicago Cubs. Sports Authority, all things sporting good.
Let's take a look at the Blue Cross Blue Shield key to the Cubs' loss tonight. Holly?
Well, Clayton did leave the ballgame winning, so we'll say it was a success. Really, the key to the ballgame tonight was the lefties and the righties. I was talking about that just a little bit earlier in the show. The splits, they don't lie. 367 batting average against the righties. 267 against the lefties with no extra base hits. I knew that Clayton would have that kind of game against Devato and the Hamilton and the lefties that were in the lineup, able to contain them. I was a little bit concerned with Todd Frazier, Marlon Byrd, Brandon Phillips. And again, there were some hard hit balls there, including 2 home runs. But all in all, not a bad effort. Gave our team a chance to win tonight, got the job done, turned it over to the bullpen. Unfortunately, we gave it back rather quickly.
Yep, gave it back rather quickly. That was the problem. Rafael Soriano has been called up, as you knew before the ballgame. Edward Jackson is out. Soriano in, and he got his first work tonight.
Well, He's going to have to live on the corners. You can see it. The velocity's not what it once was. I mean, this is a guy who has a very, very nice resume. Fun to look at the numbers, look at the saves, look at the success that he's had throughout his career, but the velocity is not quite what you remember if it's been a while since you've seen him. Did have some struggles at the end of last year. He's going to have to make pitches on the corners, and you watched him kind of strategically work Marlon Byrd right there. Look at all those pitches on the outside part of the plate. You cannot miss out over it. You're going to see the cutter. You're going to see the fastball, the little slider right there. This is more of an experience move. This is a guy who's been there and done it before, so I think it's a good move there, but I don't think that you're going to see him in a whole lot of high-leverage situations.
All right, we'll be right back. Cubs post-game live rolls on, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield.
There are measures we can offer. Other agents in the field.
I work alone.
Okay, what's it gonna take?
I want a guarantee.
He wants the card.
I'm in.
He's good.
Drop my phone.
Great news! The best internet offer of the year is back. Get Xfinity Internet for just $14.99 a month for 12 months. But don't wait. This offer is only back for a short time. AT&T Uverse can't give you the speed Xfinity does. Call 1-800-XFINITY to get started for as low as $14.99 a month for 12 months. Or ask how to get even more speed with Blast. Now with 50% more speed. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
You can't always be there to protect her down the road. Make sure the tires she's riding on will. With the revolutionary Michelin Premier tire, even as it wears down over time, its safety doesn't, thanks to Evergrip technology. The Michelin Premier tire, safe when new, safe when worn.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Cholula Hot Sauce, the flavorful hot sauce with the iconic wooden cap.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Creating the perfect outdoor space by Unilock. Quality landscapes require the right design, materials, and craftsmanship, because that's what it takes to truly connect with your lifestyle. With Unilock, you get unlimited design possibilities, authorized Unilock contractors, and a transferable lifetime guarantee. For a complimentary idea book or a free project estimate, call 1-800-UNILOCK or visit unilock.com. That's 1-800-UNILOCK and unilock.com. Your perfect outdoor space awaits with Unilock, designed to connect.
All right, there it is. Final 5-8-0 over 4-8-0. Cubs enter tonight's action holding the second wild card in the National League. And we're 3.5 games behind the Pirates for the top wild card spot. Right now, Pittsburgh leads the Royals 8-7 in the 8th inning in Kansas City. Before tonight's game, Joe Maddon said a wild card bid is not the goal that he has in mind for his club.
Our goal is to win the division. I mean, I don't want us to shy away from that. I want us to think any differently than that. I mean, like I said, the threat is if you don't do that, you might hit your mark, and that may be considerably short of even getting into the playoffs. So I want us to play like we're going for the division. And then if the playoff, the wild card occurs, great, but I don't want us to just aim for a wild card slot.
All right, your thoughts?
Oh, I like it. I mean, again, that's very common talk from a manager. I mean, even amongst the players, I would say very, very much the same thing. You know, you're in a position where, you know, that should ultimately be your goal. When you sit back and you say, let's be realistic about this. Are we good enough to catch the Cardinals? Are we good enough to catch the Pirates? Well, here's the thing. You need some help from them. But the bottom line is you're going to play them here in the second half. If you take care of your business, maybe you'll find yourself in that position. But it's all about winning the moment and winning the day, and that's ultimately the goal. Whether Joe says it or not, it's not in their hands right now. So winning baseball games is easily the most important thing. Don't worry yourself about the wild card. Don't even worry yourself about the division. Just worry about winning ball games right now, and that's really what he's saying.
All right, Cubs lose tonight. 3 more, though, with the Reds, and they're in a long stretch of teams with the records below 500. Let's check out the pitching matchup for tomorrow's game. Jason Hamill coming back from that hamstring tweak, getting the start for the Cubs. He'll go against Raisel Iglesias, 1-2 with a .590.
Well, the numbers don't lie. I mean, we're all sitting here thinking the same thing, right? Jason Hamill coming back, looking to see if he's healthy and getting it done like he did in the first half. I would expect that he will be. With that being said, it's a matchup that certainly favors us. Iglesias has had his struggles already this season. The ERA does not lie right there as far as our offense kind of getting rolling. If everything goes as planned, this is a ball game we should get and a ball game we need.
Yeah, definitely a ball game that they need. And Hamill coming off just a 1-inning start. A lot of people very fearful that would be a much more severe injury. He threw a side session yesterday, and it looks like he's going to be okay.
Well, it sounds like he's going to be okay, but he's vital. I mean, our conversation this year has really been about how good our pitching has been, and it's got to stay that way. If we're going to get to the playoffs, if we're going to have the division conversation or the wild card conversation, we're going to continue to get as good a pitching as we had in the first half.
Let's see you tomorrow.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you for watching. Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Cubs fall to the Reds 5-4. Holly and I back with you tomorrow night for the postgame show. Pat and Mark have Sportsnet Central coming up. Joe Madden now has another option. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
You are connected to Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC.
As Cap and Holly were telling you, Joe Madden now with another option to close games. A former All-Star closer Rafael Soriano joining the bullpen. He did not allow a run in 7 minor league tune-ups. Madden very familiar with the 35-year-old right-hander after managing him in Tampa Bay. Right now, with so many power arms in the bullpen, Madden will go with matchups in deciding which relievers to use on a given night. Meanwhile, rookie catcher Kyle Schwarber had a big rooting section for tonight's series opener against the Reds. Schwarber grew up in Middletown, Ohio, less than 40 miles north of Cincinnati. Cubs are 7-2 so far against the Reds this season. Pick it up in the top of the first. Schwarber with that big cheering section. Give them something to cheer about. Base hit to right field. Cubs have 2 runners on and nobody out. A couple of batters later, Anthony Rizzo, the All-Star, with a chance to do some damage. He sends a fly ball to center field. That will be more than deep enough to get the run home from third. Dexter Fowler tags up, easily trots home. The Cubs take the 1-0 lead. But in the bottom half of the inning, Cubs starter Clayton Richard would give the run right back. Home run derby champion Todd Frazier with a line shot to right center field. That gets out in a hurry. Number 26 on the season for Frazier, ties the game at 1. To the 4th inning now. Runner on third. Richard bounces one in the dirt. Schwarber can't get over and block that one. The run comes in to score 2-1 Cincinnati. And later in the at-bat, Marlon Byrd will unload the other way. Did I go? Yeah, he went all the way to the people in right field. Solo shot number 16 on the season for Byrd, who's revitalized his career in Cincinnati. Reds in front 4-3. Cubs would come back. 2 runners out for Chris Bryant, and he drives one to right center field in the gap. That's an RBI ground rule double. That pulls the Cubs within 1. A couple of batters later, Jorge Soler comes through with 2 out. A shot down the first base line. 2 runs will cross the plate. Soler trying to stretch it into a double. Could have been out, but the throw bounces away. Cubs retake the lead. Now it's a 4-3 ball game. Bottom of the 6th, Justin Grimm on in relief of Richard. Runner on for Jay Bruce, and that one's not coming back. Deep to right field, way out. Estimated at 440 feet on the bomb. 15th of the season for Bruce. Reds jump back in front 5-4. In the 7th, Cubs threatening with 2 on. Soler, a shot up the middle. Check out the play by Brandon Phillips. Behind the back to get the force out. That's about as good as you're going to get from the Gold Glove second baseman. Keeps the Reds in front by a run. Top of the 8th inning now. Cubs another chance to even things up. They've got runners at the corners. Fowler, who had reached base all 4 times. A little humpback liner to second. Easy play for Phillips this time. Cubs left 9 runners on the night. In the 9th, Aroldis Chapman. Some thought he wouldn't pitch because he threw so many pitches last night. But he strikes out Anthony Rizzo on a 101-mile-an-hour fastball. Cubs fall in the series opener 5-4.
basketball.
Well, we have seen some stellar plays by Kansas City in this series, and that's one reason they've got the second-best record in baseball.
Not even Chris Sale could help the White Sox earn a series split against AL leading KC yesterday. And with NL leading St. Louis in town tomorrow, the Sox roll at the trade deadline seems to be leaning heavily towards being a seller. $120 million spent last offseason hasn't produced the return Rick Hahn and the Southsiders were looking for. In town for the 2005 World Series reunion, Jermaine Dye says this team still has time to turn it around.
When you bring a bunch of guys together from other clubs and stick everybody together, you know, sometimes it takes a while to gel as a team, but I think they show signs right before the break of what they're capable of. And hopefully here in the next week or so, they'll put together another good winning streak and get back on track. You know, it's still a long season, a long way to go. A lot can happen.
With the White Sox 7 games out of the wild card and 7 teams to jump entering tonight's action, not shocking to hear that the Shark may be moving on soon. Ken Rosenthal reports that the Sox are in listening mode on Jeff Samardzija and that he's most likely to go. Rosenthal says the Sox aren't likely to do a wholesale teardown, which would include shopping Chris Sale or Jose Abreu. Now, the team had an off day today, but spent time on the links raising money for a good cause. Kip Lewis has more.
Current and former members of the White Sox descended upon Harborside International Golf Course, all teeing off for the annual White Sox Charities Golf Outing, benefiting pediatric cancer research and treatment programs.
The good cause is always first. You know, the White Sox Charities always has a long tradition of doing things and helping out, and this is another one of those things that's fun for us to get out here and relax and have a little fun.
Always good to be with those guys and have fun with those guys. And I know we have a day off and just trying to be here to have fun and enjoy the family.
The event also featured some of the 2005 World Series champions who were honored this weekend at U.S. Cellular Field. They say the best part of the celebration was simply reminiscing with their former teammates.
It was really nice, you know, some of those guys I haven't seen since 05, 06, and, you know, getting everybody into the same room and sharing stories and just, you know, really just catching up.
It was great. I mean, just to be, you know, back and see some familiar faces, see the fans of Chicago, be back at the ballpark. You know, the White Sox really did a great job of hosting us.
It was also a nice way to relax and get away from the everyday stresses that come with a season, even if the golf game isn't improving. You don't get a chance to play that often. Does your golf game get better each year when you're out here?
Not when it gets out here, no. But, you know, you enjoy coming out here and playing golf, and you know, it's a scramble, so it's fun to, you know, play with these guys, and you know, everybody hits a few shots and you go from there.
Comcast Sportsnet was represented by our White Sox pre and post game host Chuck Garfien and our White Sox insider Dan Hayes. We'll leave out the highlights of their golf game. From Harborside International, Kip Lewis, Comcast Sportsnet.
Good to see the 05 guys back in town over the weekend. Jermaine Dye spent a lot of time on CSN. It's good to see him. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for watching Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC.
Don't go anywhere. We're coming right back, including an epic final round at the British Open. How epic was it? It's a 2-anchor read.
Wow.
We'll have that
career ender.
Sportsnet Central on Comcast Sportsnet is presented to you by GMC. We are professional grade.
There's a sound a ball makes when it catches nothing but net. Everyone loves that sound, that precision. At GMC, we get that. Nothing separates the men from the boys like nothing but net. This is precision. This is GMC. Now get over $6,500 total value on specially equipped 2015 Acadia models.
where will you be when NASCAR revisits the Windy City?
Chicagoland, perfect track. I don't think we could ask for a better atmosphere to start the chase.
When 16 drivers begin their fight for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Championship.
Where will you be when the green flag drops?
We are underway with race 1 of the chase.
Join us for an action-packed weekend as all 3 series return to the track. Tickets are available now.
Where will you be when the chase starts?
This is a great place to work, not because they have yoga meetings and a juice bar, because they're getting Comcast Business Internet. Comcast Business offers convenient installation appointments that work around your schedule, and it takes about an hour.
Get reliable internet that's up to 5 times faster than DSL from the phone company. Call 800-501-6000 to switch today.
Perks are nice, but the best thing you can give your business is Comcast Business.
Comcast Business, built for business.
It's a golden opportunity to elevate each moment, hit every mark, thread every needle, turn every ride into a thrill ride. Come into the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event, where you'll find some of the best offers of the year on our most exhilarating models. Lease the all-wheel drive 2015 IS 250 for $349 a month for 36 months, and we'll make your first month's payment. See your Lexus dealer.
I'm Gordon Beckham, and you're watching the home of White Sox baseball, CSN Chicago.
Hey everyone, Mike Stein with Mark Shanowski. I am Pat Boyle, and this is Sportsnet Central presented by GMC. The longest open ever had a thrilling finish at St. Andrews.
Doug McDermott honored for his summer league play in Vegas, but can the Bulls count on him when the games start for real? The Cubs add a former All-Star to their bullpen while it's homecoming week for Kyle Schwarber in Cincinnati. And trade rumors are starting to pick up around the White Sox.
Plus, the salary cap crunch is starting to sink in for Patrick Kane.
Couple moves not really expected.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slice. Sportsnet Central, let's go.
To Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC.
I think Phil Mickelson's coming over for lunch. We get things started with tonight's Open Championship coverage brought to you by Myrtle Beach Golf Holiday. All eyes on Jordan Spieth in today's weather-delayed final round of the British Open. The 21-year-old Texan had already won the Masters and the U.S. Open. He moved into contention at St. Andrews by shooting a 66 in Sunday's third round. Spieth trying to join the legendary Ben Hogan as the only players to win the first 3 majors in the modern era. Spieth began the day just 1 shot off the lead at 11 under par. Here on the par 4 13th after coming up short on his approach. A difficult chip from below the green, and he almost holes it, bouncing it off the flagstick. A bit unlucky there. Spieth would tap in for par. On the 16th hole, Spieth has a long birdie try, estimated at some 50 feet. Chance to move to 15 under and a share of the lead. And amazingly, that one finds the bottom of the jar. All of a sudden, it looked like Spieth is in the driver's seat. He could win it with a par and a birdie. But on the road hole, Spieth putting to save par from about 6 feet, can't get it to go. The bogey drops him to 14 under. He knew he had to birdie 18 for a shot at the playoff. Zach Johnson started the day 3 shots back, but he had a great round going. On 18, Johnson rolls in that long birdie putt. It's caddy doing the hawk walk there. It moved to 15 under. Johnson a 6 under par 66 to get to 15 under. After shooting a 64 in the third round, Australia's Mark Leishman at 15 under. That putt could have won it for him, but he pulled it left, joined Johnson in the clubhouse, waiting for a possible playoff. Now back to Jordan Spieth on 18. He needs to hold this almost impossible putt from the Valley of Sin. It just rolls off to the left there. Good line, just misses. Spieth's quest for 3 straight majors comes up just short. Australia's Jason Day looking for his first career major. He can get in the playoff with that putt. Comes up short, though.
Short.
Wow. Finishes in a tie for 4th at 14 under. The frustration almost too much to take. With Johnson and Leishman already assured of a playoff, 2010 Open champ Louis Oosthuizen sinks the short birdie putt on 18, makes it a threesome at 15 under par, so it's going to be a 4-hole total stroke playoff for that coveted claret jug.
Johnson Oosthuizen birdied the first playoff hole. Leishman bogeyed, so essentially it ended his chances. Second playoff hole, Zach, who's grew up a Cubs fan, for birdie, has a 1-stroke lead now on Oosthuizen and 3 on Leishman to the rolled hole for the third playoff hole, this aggregate. Most difficult hole in the Euro and PGA Tour statistically. Third shot over the green. Zach would bogey that hole. That gives the man who won the Open the last time it was at St. Andrews a window, but Oosthuizen misses the short par putt. Johnson goes to 18 with 1-stroke lead and can win it with a birdie. And he misses wide right, so he taps in for his par. Oosthuizen could force another playoff hole if he makes this birdie putt. He just burns the lip on the left side. Zach Johnson wins his second career major 8 years after he won the Masters. It caps off the longest Open from start to finish in championship history. He's the 6th player to win at Augusta and the home of golf. Here's an emotional Johnson moments after winning the claret jug.
I'm grateful, I'm humbled. I'm thankful. I'm honored. I mean, this is the birthplace of the game, and that jug means so much in sports, specifically this tournament and golf. So it hasn't set in yet, Tom. I got to be honest, but I think what this does, if anything, is really puts things in perspective for me, more so than it already has. I mean, why? Because I play golf for a living, and I'm grateful for that. It's a beautiful game. It provides great opportunity. And I'm a product of great people. I'm just so thankful.
Wow, really emotional stuff. Rookie catcher Kyle Schwarber, he had a big rooting section for tonight's series opener against the Reds. Schwarber grew up in Middletown, Ohio, less than 40 miles north of Cincinnati. Played in the Futures game there just this past week. Cubs 7-2 against the Reds this season. Top of the first inning, Schwarber at the dish. After a leadoff single by Dexter Fowler, Schwarber keeps the good things going. Solid single to right. 2 runners on, nobody out. Anthony Rizzo has a chance to drive in a run here. Lifts a fly ball to center field. More than deep enough to get the run home. Fowler will tag up across the plate. Cubs take a 1-0 lead. Hopefully the start of something big. But in the bottom half of the inning, Clayton Richard would give it right back. That's home run derby champion Todd Frazier. He home runs again. Line drive shot to right center field. Number 26 on the season for Frazier. Ties the game at 1. To the 4th inning now. Runner on third. Richard, a wild pitch there. Schwarber could not move over to block it. Run comes in to score. It's 2-1 in favor of the home team. Later in the same at bat, Marlon Byrd at the dish. The former Cub loves to haunt his old team. Drives one deep to right field. That's not coming back. His 16th home run of the season. Reds grab a 3-1 advantage. But the Cubs would come right back in the top of the 5th inning. 2 runners on for Chris Bryant. He drives one deep to right center field. Jay Bruce cannot make the catch. One hops into the wall. That would cut the deficit to 1. 2 batters later, Jorge Soler comes through. A shot down the first base line. That will score a pair. Soler trying to stretch it into a double. Might have been out at second, but the throw gets away. Cubs retake the lead at 4-3. Bottom of the 6th inning. 2 outs. Justin Grimm on in relief of Richard. Run around for Jay Bruce, and he really puts a charge into that one. Deep to right field. Way up in the seats. Estimated distance on the home run, 440 feet. The Reds are back in front 5-4. In the 7th, Cubs threatening with 2 runners on. Soler, a hard smash up the middle. Brandon Phillips, the diving stop behind the back. Eugenio Suarez barehands it for the force out. That's about as good as it gets. Tying run could have scored on that play. Top of the 8th inning now. Cubs another chance to even things up. They've got runners at the corners. Dexter Fowler, a couple of hits, couple of walks. This time he cannot come through. Soft liner, easy chance for Phillips. The Cubs left 9 runners on base all told. To the 9th, Aroldis Chapman in to close it out. Blows away Anthony Rizzo. That heater clocked at 101 miles per hour. So the Cubs dropped the series opener, had lots of chances, but Cincinnati comes out on top 5-4. Before the game, the Cubs called up former All-Star closer Rafael Soriano. The 35-year-old right-hander got in. He did pitch the bottom of the 8th inning against the Reds. A little bit rusty, but he managed to get through without giving up a run. Joe Maddon says he'll wait and see on the situation as to which pitcher he'll use in closing situations. In other Cub news, their scouts very busy as we close in on the July 31st non-waiver trade deadline. Cubs, one of several teams to get a first-hand look at Cole Hamels yesterday in Philadelphia. Probably didn't like what they saw. The veteran lefty not sharp. He gave up 5 runs on 8 hits in just 3 innings against the Marlins. As of now, Hamels' next start is scheduled against the Cubs Friday afternoon at Wrigley Field. That could be very interesting.
Shark sightings have been in the headlines a lot recently. According to MLB's Ken Rosenthal, there's a good chance we'll see the Southsider nicknamed Shark spotted in another city very soon. He reports the Sox are listening to Jeff Samardzija offers and that he will most likely go. The Cubs went through this process with Jeff a year ago, and it produced Addison Russell. You know, Rick Hahn, the Sox would probably jump at a package that included the top prospect in an organization like Addison Russell was with Oakland. Samardzija is a free agent at season's end, will likely earn a $20 million a year contract. Rosenthal also said the Sox aren't likely to do a wholesale teardown, which would include shopping Chris Sale or Jose Abreu. And that takes us to tonight's Twitter question. Besides Samardzija, who else should the Sox shop at the trade deadline and why? Hit us up on Twitter with White Sox Talk as the hashtag, and we'll check in with your responses a little bit later on in the show. After spending the entire weekend at the Blackhawks convention, it's time to play everybody's favorite game. Where in the world is the Stanley Cup? From Mumford & Sons to Buffett to karaoke night at an establishment near you, we'll catch up with Patrick as the Summer of Caner continues. And we'll visit with Bulls insider Vincent Goodwill, who explains why some of the Bulls' big men will be looking over their shoulders at Bobby Portis.
White Sox fans, want to receive exclusive ticket offers and pre-sales, video sneak peeks, breaking news alerts, and more all year long? Then you need to join the White Sox community by becoming a member of the WhiteSox.com Blacklist. The Blacklist is the only way to ensure you know about the latest and greatest promotional items, ticket deals, and special ballpark activities. Don't miss out on all the top White Sox news. Visit WhiteSox.com/blacklist to register for free today.
Do you live in America? Then you have the right to get out of debt. You can eliminate or reorganize and protect houses, vehicles, pension, and other assets. I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. America's debt-free law is called the United States Bankruptcy Code, and we're one of the oldest and largest debt relief agencies in America. Call us or click now.
If you're worried about debt, call now to see if you qualify. 1-800-401-4010.
Tomorrow, it's a power surge at the plate as our Cubs look to park some pitches in the mighty Ohio. Watch them try to put a charge into Game 2 and bolt past Cincy. Cubs, Reds, live at 6 on CSN.
For over 50 years, Discount Tire has been the place where America saves on tires. Get a $70 Visa prepaid card on select sets of 4 Bridgestone tires.
My dad thinks the best color for a car is red. My cousin says he prefers European cars. And my friend, well, he thinks everyone should drive what he drives. My car is my car, and it's my choice. Mitsubishi.
Now, get special discounts featuring 0% APR financing for 66 to 72 months. Stackable rebates and APR cash at Max Matson Mitsubishi, maxmatson.com.
Chicago, Comcast Sportsnet is giving you a chance to win tickets to all 3 days of Lollapalooza for you and a guest. Don't miss out on the biggest party of the summer. Visit csnchicago.com/Lala to enter for your chance to win today. Saturday night's Red Hot MLS action returns as New England charges the field for a 5-alarm fight with our fire. Watch the men in red get their revenge and blaze a trail to victory. Coverage begins at 7 on CSN. Spanish language broadcast on CSN+.
We are back with our great clips download of the week. This one coming from off the coast of South Africa. Pro surfer Mick Fanning in a competition will be attacked by a shark. We're not joking around about this. Fanning was knocked into the water, but repeatedly punched the shark in the back before being pulled to safety by a nearby official riding a jet ski. As Pat and I are obligated to say, don't try this at home. But you should log on to csnchicago.com, download the Great Clips app on your iPhone or Android. Fortunately, Mick Fanning is fine, and I'm sure the shark is okay too.
I'm sure he's feeling good that it's a download of the week. Time for our nightly question. Where in the world is that Stanley Cup? Well, after performing all weekend at the Hawks convention, it made the almost 9-hour flight to Helsinki, Finland, where it was Teuvo time. Teuvo Teravainen spent some time with the cup in front of friends and family, out on the water as well.
No sharks in Finland.
No. Probably a good chance, though, it's with Kimmo Timonen tomorrow. The couple spend the next several days touring Europe with a lengthy stop in Sweden.
It's been a joy to watch him grow and grow up. 88, Patrick Kane.
I know you said I've been growing up, but watch out for me the next week.
Well, Patrick Kane warned us. 4 weeks before Taylor Swift took the mic at Soldier Field on her 1989 tour, that venue belonged to 88 and his teammates. Kane has done almost as much touring as Taylor has this summer. First, Mumford & Sons. Then Kane tried his hand at DJing and a little karaoke. And in full parrot headgear, he performed with Jimmy Buffett again. Well, the summer of Kane continues in Buffalo next month. 88's turn with the cup falls on, you guessed it, 8-8. Our Chris Bowden caught up with him this morning.
Does this really start to become the wind down time, the recover time, and when does the recondition time start, and how much time do you, what's the point where you start getting into that again?
Well, yeah, I think actually tomorrow I'm going on vacation for a week, which would be nice, and then you know, that'll really help things wind down a little bit. Then in August I'm in Buffalo the whole month, so it'll be nice just to be there, kind of relax, and you know, once August 1st rolls around, that's when I'll really try to amp up the training and the skating and make sure you're ready come camp time.
You have a sense now of what's been lost and what's been gained here in terms of the roster moves and how it compares to what happened after winning the last 2 cups?
Yeah, I mean, well, in 2010, I think we lost, 9 or 10 guys, whatever it was, at the end. I know we've lost a few this time, but, it's, I think, a couple moves not really expected, especially with Sauter, maybe. I know with Sharpie, he's probably the first guy, the so-called core, to be moved too, so that kind of hits home a little bit too. So, yeah, a couple guys you really like that won't be on the team next year, but I think at the same time, the management did a great job of picking up some assets and guys that I think will really help us.
And you can look at the stat sheet and, between Brandon and Patrick and Brad Richards, those guys give you more than 50 goals a season. But when it comes to